of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Okay. First you have to open the door. Now you have to close the first door. Now just press the switch here.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Another Tory. What is this? I need to see it to know why it stopped. I've solved this puzzle before. This is just all my dialogue choices. What are you talking about? There's no machine here. They're just words on some walls. Don't say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. I don't think that's what he's feeling at all. Alright. Making games is easy. Whew. Oh, why did the walls just crumble? Just keep talking. When I make games, I feel completely energized. I'm constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. So that's wonderful.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
None of this is helping. I'm going to vomit. Please, where is the machine?
So much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
None of this is helping. Yeah, just keep you lying to yourself. This is a good idea. Sacrifice made for my work are worth it 100% of the time.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it.
No shame, no fear, no guilt.
I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
I'm free. Who the fuck are you? And there's a lamppost. Oh, I recognize this prison.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Oh yeah, she didn't get a great stick there, Mad Alex. Machine. Oh, good. Good. This is good. This feels conclusive. Man, I'm glad to see you arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. Begin the interrogation whenever you like. Oh, hey, what's up, Charmy? Alright, we've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation. I intend to be quick, quiet. I intend to be brutal. Very good. Someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. So one more thing you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Goody! Oh! Boy! Whew.
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. Stop feeding us. Your work was keeping us alive. Your work was keeping us healthy. I'll say alive. I'll say healthy. I don't think we're quite at keeping us alive. Can you imagine what pain you put them through? It was only because of your creations that any of us could make it through every day. How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job? So here's what needs to happen. You need to go on. You need to go to the people who are out there and apologize to them. You have to admit to the people that you allowed them to suffer. I've been so alone. So let's get to the real point here. Apologize for leaving me. No? Nothing? I've seen the thing you fear. I should have said that. Then I'll apologize to the people on your behalf. Oh, that sounds like a fucking... That doesn't sound like a good line. I'll apologize on your behalf. That sounds really, really bad. Friends. We'll definitely call them friends. Falls on me to deliver bad news. I have a troubling revelation. Machine will not apologize to us. Machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. This is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Yeah, there's other ways to cope. Let's pay it retribution. Let us show it that we are not failures. Follow me, we will destroy the machine. Follow me, we will destroy everything that the machine has created. I don't like either of these options. But, there's no reason to destroy your previous creations. So, destroy the machine. Sorry, I smacked my microphone. Oh! Back on That was pretty good. Same gun. Which actually moves about on screen. That's kind of interesting.
Remember, you can click to fire the gun.
Oh! Oh! I was waiting for something to show up. I didn't think of just... Oh.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation.
Maybe don't show them this one.
As I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him?
You fucked up,
If
didn't
he
you?
could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Oh, the nice orange room. Well, it seems the decision was to destroy everything the machine made anyway. Oh!
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his game.
What the fuck?
You know,
Is
the
that
point of
noise?
it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Put down your weapon. That's apparently not an option.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need. To be told that my work is good. That I am good.
Not everyone's
when
you,
someone
man.
really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good. Like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. How much they enjoyed his games. It was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look. And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game. This room actually has a maze in it. Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable.
Yeah.
The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
I appreciate that. Yeah, Matt Alex, you absolutely need the third movie. And Matt, fuck you. It's still a video game. I can't like turn off instincts like that. What the hell?
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
Well, if he was the only one playing it, it means he hates himself.